because someday we won't have audio issues before the show.
Yeah, maybe we should plan on, fixing the audio an hour before the show instead of 15 minutes before the show.
Hey, I got it fixed. It seems to be working. Like, I don't know what the problem is now. So, boom. What is up? We are live. Travis, Brother Bob. Boy, I bet you all the Becky marks are going to hate me today.
I'm sure they are. I know I do.
What's up? Welcome into Smarkdown Radio. A lot to cover today. It was a big weekend in wrestling. Obviously, Brooklyn TakeOver 4. Are we on 4 already? That's crazy.
It just says to me that they need to try a different city than the same one.
Well, I mean, yeah. And then obviously SummerSlam, which I don't know. Like, we'll get into it. I mean, we definitely have a lot to cover. So, New Japan news, fake news, just to steal a term from our soon-to-be indicted president apparently.
From WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump.
The WWE Hall of Famer, yes. and yeah. So what's up? If you want to interact with the show, at Smarkdown Radio on Twitter, at CPBuff22 gets you Bob, or email us smarkdownradio@gmail.com. Yeah, Bob. I think we should start with some general news and notes, as always. And when I reference fake news, I think that's the first article. There were a few sources reporting that Daniel Bryan still had no contract as of Monday even. And I'm beginning to think that's false, because now we are seeing WWE advertise him for the Super Showdown in Australia, where him and Miz will run back their match, and the winner of that's getting a WWE title shot.
Well, I mean, contracts in WWE at this point, who really knows? I mean, Dolph Ziggler was not signed, not signed, and then signed, and then not signed again. So I'm like, the reports of Ziggler have changed 4 times since last fall. The last thing that anyone's heard, direct quote from him, is that he had not upped his contract, and if he does, he will let everybody know. And I'm like, oh, well, then these reports over the past 6 months have been fabrication.
Well, I think the fact that they went from having nothing announced with Daniel to having multiple matches announced. They also announced the Hell in the Cell, him and Brie versus Miz and Maurice. I'm less thrilled about that, but it seems there's some sort of deal in place, because the date that I saw was September 1st. He's obviously exceeding that. So we'll keep following that. But I think, the most exciting part that came out about that is you have to kind of assume that they're going to let Daniel Bryan get that title shot, right? Oh. Especially if he re-signed. I mean, maybe that's what he was working for.
If he re-signed, maybe. You would think that Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, or a Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe title match would be held for a WrestleMania. So if they're doing it before that, I mean, I guess they could do it at the Rumble.
Rumble would make sense. That'd be a really good, because Super Showdown's in late October, right? Mid-late October in Australia. So you really wouldn't need to put that program on until January.
I'm okay with Halloween Havoc.
One can hope, but that wouldn't make any sense because it'd be too close. But you'd be looking at what's December. December's usually
Royal Rumble.
No, January's Royal Rumble. Wow. There's usually a December pay-per-view. Is that Money in the Bank again?
No Way Out.
It's one of those pay-per-views we don't like. I know Fastlane is the February pay-per-view now. Right?
Yeah, I mean, no Way Out.
Great Balls of Fire? Is it Great Balls of Fire?
No Way Out, I think, used to be between Rumble and Mania. Wow. So I'm not sure. We could be Survivor Series is somewhere around there too, right? November, yeah.
We're talking about it. I would imagine it would be, maybe they have it at Survivor Series. It's a Big 4 pay-per-view. It's a possibility, but I think that's good news. That bodes well. I think that's probably what Daniel was holding out for, was a title shot attached to his contract, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, Daniel Bryan's one of the few guys in the roster who really deserves a title shot. There's a couple other guys on Raw who are never going to get one because Roman's there, but It is what it is, you know.
No, I'm thinking that the mic issue actually is the cord pop.
See?
It's live technical difficulties. Because I'm all quiet and stuff, which is weird.
Yeah, he's not that quiet in real life. Trust.
Quiet. Never. But now we're. See, I'm like, man, live on air issues. Look at this crap. Well, just dial it up until it works, right? Just turn it to 11. I went to the Spinal Tap School of Broadcasting.
So the opposite of what WB does when Roman comes out.
Oh, we'll get to that. Whoa, man, will we get to that? So, from news and notes also, it was confirmed that Cody and the Bucks made a legit offer to CM Punk for All In, and he turned it down.
Yeah.
Nothing unexpected there, but it is interesting to finally get confirmation that they did make him a full offer. Like they presented him with an offer.
I thought this was confirmed when Punk said, you know, hey, I'm not gonna wrestle after the court date, and then during that same time, the Bucks were like, we offered him, you know, we put an offer out. I mean, that was out there. I don't know, you know, a lot of people are like shocked by this announcement, and it's like trending as news, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we covered this, and it's two separate posts from those guys.
I think it was just barely touched upon, like, and it seems like more details have come to light, and it was like an actual, like, they pitched him hard. They gave him the hard sell, not, hey, Punk, would you be interested in coming and do that? They gave him the hard sell, and he said no. So that's interesting little development. Rowan injured at SummerSlam, bicep tear, looking at more surgery. That's sad. Obviously, we had them drop the belts to the New Day. I don't think that was unexpected. It was announced that he had torn a bicep Monday. I saw it Monday, and then Monday evening they had announced into Tuesday there was going to be another New Day bludgeon match on SmackDown for the titles, and you kind of expected they were going to change the belts because he's going to have some surgery, which is, I mean, that sucks. You know, I like those guys.
Time to bring Harper over to Raw and have him team with Wyatt and Braun and beating the Shield.
I've seen that with the impending Shield rivalry with Braun, doing a little Wyatt reunion to kind of get over. So that's got some possibilities. We'll see what they do. But we do hope that Rowan heals up fast and gets back in the ring, man. Like, because like when we're talking about SummerSlam, I think that was one of the more enjoyable matches on the card. Those guys put on a heck of a show.
Yep.
So reports are Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan both working backstage at WWE and starting apparently a transition. Matt had been tweeting about his spine and pelvis fusing together.
Yeah.
Which, ouch. Like, we talked about that. That sounds really painful. He says it's painful. He doesn't know how many more goes he's got. That bump card's pretty full now. And it looks like he's going to start transitioning into a backstage role. I also saw a report where his wife had mentioned his contract expiring shortly. So it'll be interesting. Maybe he's got one or two more shots. Maybe he does do, like, if he's not under contract and he goes his own direction with WWE, does he come back for the MSG Super Show in April for his, like, farewell, something like that, have one last big match, because it doesn't seem, WWE is not very good unless you're an A1 plus type talent of doing farewell shots. You know, unless you're Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels or somebody, like, you usually don't get to go out, you know, with, like, all the pomp and circumstance. And I mean, I'd love to see that. So,
I mean, they even kind of flubbed Undertaker's farewell matches since he's had multiple to this point.
Yeah. I mean, like, Taker can wrestle as much as he wants until he's done. He's earned
apparently
that right.
He will be wrestling some more. So I mean,
that's fine. I'm okay seeing him like 4 to 6 times. Yeah, I mean, if this is legit the last time, I mean, it's fine. It's on a show that it's not really going to affect anything. Like, if it's just a match, like,
Taker's going to be
all right.
80 and they're going to wheel him out in a wheelchair to freaking, you know, go to the ring for, like, you know, the greatest WrestleMania in, like, Syria or something in, like, 20 years. Like, I mean,
Greatest WrestleMania, Antarctica. Like, yeah, I could totally see that happening. But Taker's earned the right, and if he's only wrestling, 4 to 6 times a year, and he's picking his spots, and they're picking the right opponents, more importantly, you put him with the right opponent, Taker's still going to give you very good matches.
Why haven't we seen him with, like, Rollins or Styles or, like, these guys in those kind of matches? Why are we continuously seeing, like, your AJs and your Hunters who they're huge names themselves, but it's not going to help get over anybody new if they win, and it's not going to do anything for the match as far as in-ring quality and the pace of the match, because those guys are all getting older as well. I mean, Cena's never been a workhorse in the ring, so
dude, you mentioned Cena. I wish you had a photo. So he cut a promo. He's like shooting a movie like in China or something, and he cut a promo for like Greatest Royal. Dude, Cena looks like he's in the best shape of his life. Well, I wish we like this is again. We need a producer so they could like scurry away and like find a picture and like so we could throw it up in the process. I'm telling you guys, go look up Cena. He almost looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like back in the day, and he seriously looks. It's one of these cases where he doesn't have to travel, so he's probably been in the gym. He's got like Rock syndrome going on.
Yep.
Like where Rock quit WWE, and he's focused on movies, so he can diet. His diet's perfect, and he's working out as much as he wants, and he doesn't have the stress of the road travel, right? And Rock ended up looking better out of the WWE than he did in the WWE.
Well, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise if you look at somebody like Chris Pratt and what he looked like when he was doing weekly television.
Yeah,
shooting all the time.
A lot of that's and a lot of that's diet. Like we know a lot of that's diet. If you can get your diet right, like you can transform your body easy. And I would imagine, with like guys like The Rock and Cena, they're working with, a personal chef or a dietitian or something where their meals are still good and very
for a personal chef.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? But John looks amazing, and not that he didn't look amazing before, but this is like a whole new. I don't know if. Like, he's got, like, a 12-pack going, and he's got, like, real... Like, he looks more like a bodybuilder than he does, like, John Cena, the pro wrestler now.
If you've seen him when he was in OVW as the prototype, he was...
Better. He looks better now.
Ripped then, too.
He looks better now. I'm telling you, that's how amazing his... Like, his physique is, like, just stupid right now. And I was like... It popped up. I was scrolling on Facebook, and it popped up, and I was like... Holy crap! And I watched the video. He cut a promo. I really want to see him back in the ring. Like, I want to see. He says he's lost some weight, which I don't number on a scale, but he's definitely put on muscle tone, and it sounds like he feels like he's faster than he's ever been, which will translate into explosiveness, which is going to look good in a Cena match.
Yep.
So I really want to see him come back. In limited. Let me see John maybe like every couple of months for a few weeks, and then he can go do a movie, and that's perfect.
Let's see John come back and beat up Roman. Like, I'd be okay with that. Well, speaking of the whole Hollywood stuff, we missed a pretty big story last week.
Well, which one's that?
Ballers is back on TV, man.
Oh, I didn't even like. I love that show. I'm off on my summer fall TV programming though. Like, I didn't even realize it was back. Yeah, that's a great show.
New Japan had me missing all kind of things, and then I got on the DVR after the show last week and was like, "Ballers is back."
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Rock does a great job on that.
Oh, it's so good. I don't know how that show is only a half hour long and Raw's 3 hours.
No, it's perfect. Like it's perfect at a half hour because it always leaves you wanting more. And it's quick watch. I love that show.
So good.
And I love the fact that they use the real athletes. I like the actors they have around him. Like it's really well done. I really enjoy it. Well, let's get to the two big shows, WWE shows of the weekend. NXT was everything everybody expected it to be, including Gargano, Ciampa. Like I think a lot of people were not expecting that to be, except the ending. I take umbrage with the ending. I was like, well, man, I didn't love it, but I love that match. It was great.
Yeah, I think the theme of the weekend was less than stellar endings. But
you and I will get to SummerSlam, like because you and I disagree a lot on SummerSlam.
I think the entire card of NXT was
NXT was
really
that
well
was
done.
an A show.
It was definitely the higher class show for the weekend.
Again we talked about it. I was like they were kind of forced in this position with Gargano and Ciampa. They had to do the match after the Black injury. They made it last man standing, and I was like, well, we've seen this. I don't know if these guys have another level to take. They really did. They took it to another level. It was amazing from opening to, like I said, up to the finish when they Gargano hits him with the knee and hurts his knee, and then Ciampa just rolls off the stage to retain the title. I was like, oh, come on, man. That's kind of disappointing because the match was so good to that point. It was just so good to that point. I felt that the finish was underwhelming. I don't want to say I hated it, but it was underwhelming after those guys had done so much in that match.
And this puts us in that situation again where we can talk about the fact that if WWE had time limit still, they could have went to a time limit draw instead.
Yeah.
And that would have said more. It would have been more to the effect of, these guys can go, and they went so long that they hit time limit, and they were still going.
Yeah, it would have been a fantastic way to not really change because they don't want to change the belt this soon. They want Ciampa to run with it for a while, especially until Black gets back. Time limit would have been amazing.
Yep.
But that match, man, like it exceeded my expectations, and I expected it to be good. I just didn't expect it to be great. Another great match by those guys. Stupid me. I should have just known better. Do we have a Shayna Baszler call-up to the main roster? Because she lost to Kairi Sane, and we have a new NXT Women's Champion, I would imagine.
I don't know, unless they go the route they have in the past and have, like, multiple rematches before calling somebody up. We've seen that happen with the women's division a little bit.
A little bit less in NXT. It's less. It's less than you would expect, but
it's happened more with the women's title than with any of the other titles.
That's true. Yeah. That's probably true. But with the Evolution pay-per-view right around the corner, I think maybe we're looking at an impending call-up, and I'm okay with that. I think Baszler's ready for the main roster. Sane will have a nice run in NXT, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. This is one of those. This match lived up to everything we expected it to be and more. I felt Ricochet, your new NXT North American champion, defeating Adam Cole baby in a very, very, very well fought. Like, I love that match, dude. I mean, it's Ricochet. Ricochet's amazing.
Adam Cole also amazing.
Baby, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Amazing. There was not much to see. That's the thing. There's not much to hate about the NXT card. Like, Cole losing. I don't know if they're going to call him up.
No, but
I actually hope not.
I could see him being the next guy in line for a title shot.
Yeah, getting him into the NXT title match.
It makes sense. I mean,
they're
not going to continue. They weren't going to continue with Gargano in that role, and with Black, having been injured, I don't see him being pushed right back into that spot right away because of the injury itself.
And with the Undisputed Era retaining against Mustache Mountain, and again, just okay. Like, they just never cease to, like, they just amaze every time they get in the ring. It's just fantastic. Those guys in the ring are fantastic.
It's entertaining to me to watch so many people online, like, just go gaga over Undisputed Era, as if, like, WWE has made something incredible, and having never watched them in, like, anywhere else. I'm like, come on, guys. They were great in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, they were great.
PWG.
I'm talking about, like, specifically these guys in a match together, Mustache Mountain, Undisputed Era. These guys, they have that chemistry where they just work together.
Yep.
And probably, as weird as it is to say, the most underwhelming match of the night was Velveteen Dream and EC3, and it was a great match. It was just, there was nothing wrong with it. It was just, compared to the other matches, like, it was just okay. Like, that was really good to watch.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It doesn't help that everybody was preoccupied talking about Dream's backstage heat. So.
As Triple H tweeted, I believe it was a tweeter, he's quoted as saying, there are calls you want to get from Vince, and there are calls you don't want to get from Vince. And it sounds like perhaps wearing very Rick Rude-esque tights that happen to say, call me up, Vince, is going to lead to a call that you don't want to get from Vince. I loved it, man. I thought it was great. JR was quoted as saying that Dream will main event WrestleMania at some point.
I mean, I could see it. He's definitely charismatic enough, and he's really good in the ring. So
yeah, it's.
I just wonder if it's one of those situations where he's so good that WWE decides to bury him instead of actually do anything with him like they have with people in the past.
I don't know. We'll see. He definitely. I mean, saying that he'll main event WrestleMania. Said okay. I mean, like, there's always a chance he won't, but he definitely is. It's not like you're saying. It's not like you're saying James Ellsworth is going to main event WrestleMania. Yeah. You're not really reaching there. I love Jim Ross. Don't get me wrong. Icon, legend, knows more about the business than I, could possibly ever know. But JR, you're not really reaching there, man. That dude is extremely talented. Dream is really talented. More likely, the rumor is EC3 lost that match because he's the next call-up.
Yeah.
And I could see that because, I mean, I wasn't sure why they put EC3 on the NXT brand to begin with. I thought, unless it was just purely, all right, let's give him a couple months to get adjusted to the real ropes in the 20-foot ring.
And
is that it? Like, I assume
maybe get used to their production style, and where the cameras are.
But he had some experience before. But it's just a refresher because really he's only been there a few months. Like, it's not been a long stay. It was just kind of okay, let's get him in. Let's get him in the system, get him comfortable, because we know what he's going to be. Like,
yeah, I remember listening to an interview in the past where they talked about the reason they put guys who are experienced on the indies or in TNA and have done television before on NXT, and a lot of that was getting them used to where the cameras are for entrances, working out all that stuff, because there's certain areas where they can move the camera to. Bagwell talked a lot about, like, when he came in WWE from
JR burying him.
Well, no, he talked about, like, just one of the problems he had with coming in was they wouldn't let him look at the camera. And that was, like, his entrance, basically.
Yeah, he would come talk to the camera.
Yeah. So they're like, you can't look into or talk in the camera. So, like, and they were trying to work with him through his entrance, and every time he'd go, even glance at the camera, he'd get yelled at about, like, looking into the camera.
So basically, they're like, okay, well, you got what got you over, you can't do anymore.
So apparently, they're really, really restrictive as to how people interact with their cameras and where they want them to be during the shoot. Finn Balor talked about in the WWE documentary they did with him about getting his entrance right and where to look and where to be during the entrance because the lights are so low to get the right shot because the camera will be zoomed in at a specific angle. And a lot of that was super important to his before coming to the main roster for him. And he worked in, like, New Japan TV and such as well. So he had experience, but he said there was a big learning curve in that regard to TV production. So I'm assuming that will be why EC3 went to
It completely makes
Yeah.
sense. Like you have to assume it's just like, hey, let's get you in, let's get you comfortable, let's set you up for success. We're paying you, a lot of money. I would assume.
I would hope.
I would hope he didn't sign for peanuts because,
I mean,
he's crazy. I mean, he's you look at him and he's got everything that Vince wants. He's big enough to carry a major title. He's got that body. He's got a good promo. He's got a good gimmick. Was
I the only one who was shocked they let him keep the EC3 name? I mean, it stands
No.
for Ethan Carter the Third.
No, I am
part
not.
of the Carter family. Who
I
owns
think
TNA.
I think that's a little bit of a dig. I think there's a little bit of ha 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 going on there.
I'm surprised that freaking Impact Wrestling didn't. I mean, with all the stuff that they went against the Matt Hardy using the broken gimmick and all that they owned that they didn't.
It was
try to do the
right.
Same thing with
It was
EC3.
right after. It was right after Anthem decided to stop fighting the gimmick with the Hardys. The EC3 left.
Yeah.
And again, maybe some of that with all this talk about like Jericho and Callis and things like that. Maybe there was, the wrestling guys sat down with the Anthem sports guys and were like, look, if you do this, you're going to drive guys away from signing with us in the future. Guys aren't going to want to come here.
My whole problem with that was the fact that freaking WWE's done that forever. I mean, you had guys leave WWE to go somewhere else, like the not letting Cody use the name Rhodes. Not allowing.
He's never officially been told he can't, and he's never asked.
Apparently he has asked.
Then that's changed because every interview I have ever heard Cody give is like, I don't know if I could use it. He's like, I've never asked and nobody's ever told me.
They made him put it. Apparently they got a cease and desist of them coming out to. Because in TNA, the announcement for entrance was now coming to the ring, Cody and Brandy Rhodes, because she would go by Brandy Rhodes, and that way they could have him tied to the Rhodes name, the Rhodes couple. And apparently there was a cease and desist involved.
All right, I didn't
TNA.
see any of that in any interview I have ever seen Cody give or heard Cody give. He has said specifically he didn't ask to use it, and he's never been told he couldn't. So that would. I'll have to go check because, like I said, I've never seen that, and I've heard probably 6 or 8 interviews where he said that exact same thing. So
and I mean, beyond that, you had Christian, who WWE didn't want to use the name Christian,
that's because
so he had to go by Christian Cage.
Yeah, WWE likes doing that, and they've liked doing that, but.
And then the whole copyright cease and desist on the Too Sweet.
Other than WWE, historically, wrestling companies have not done that. They have not done that. You took your gimmick with you.
Any major company that was on television has. I mean, freaking WCW did that. WCW didn't let guys.
Yeah, because they were responding to WWE. But when you go back to the territory days, guys took their gimmick with them. And I think that's a lot of look. You're not on WWE's level. Don't act like WWE. If you want some of these guys to come over here and put in work, if they go to Ring of Honor, if they go to New Japan, even if they go to WWE, you should let them take their gimmick with them because there's always a chance they will bring it back.
Yeah.
And you don't want to burn bridges, especially when you're in a position the way Impact is.
Even Chris Jericho hasn't done any of his WWE shtick anywhere else because he can't. I mean, he can't do the list. He can't do, why.
I'm fine with that though because he's got so much other material. He's Jericho.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt Chris Jericho to not have that.
I'm just saying it's
because he's Chris Jericho. It's fine.
It's a bit insincere to be upset at TNA about doing the same thing the WWE is doing, with WWE being the larger company and being the one who is, getting benefits from the fact that they're getting to use the broken gimmick.
But I don't think it was the fact that they were mad because I think it was there was no expectation of that. Whereas in the WWE,
the problem with the TNA thing was that the Hardys claimed, "Hey, I wrote all this stuff on my own at home, and brought it to them."
And there was no expectation. There was no expectation of, whereas in the WWE you have the expectation that they own the intellectual rights to whatever that character. But in the case of Impact, like, it sounds like there was no discussion of that, and then Impact tried to bait and switch, and that's where the problem was. I think if you're honest up front, and everybody knows the score going in, yeah, sure, like, that's fine, like, okay, but I really think that, you know, there was some behind the scenes wheeling and dealing where they talked to Anthem and talked them out of pursuing that sort of legal action, and that kind of opened the door for EC3 to move.
Yeah.
With the gimmick, because, you know, if he had to move without the gimmick, I don't know what would have happened. Because,
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my
like,
God, it's Jason Bateman.
All right, so SummerSlam. I know, you know, some people, I don't. It's been a real mixed bag reaction. We have a mixed bag reaction. I felt that SummerSlam would have been a very, very, very good Raw.
Yeah.
And as a pay-per-view, it was okay. Like, there weren't a lot of stinkers. There were a couple matches I was like, the SmackDown women's title match, sloppy.
Very sloppy.
I'm saying that as a complete mark. Like, and it was not the best match that those women have ever had.
And the sad thing is, in that match, you would have expected Carmella to be the one having sloppy moves or missing spots. And Carmella looked great.
She looked good, man. And
your two veterans who were just missing spots and just sloppy all around in that match.
Are the three best in-ring crap talkers Carmella, Kevin Owens, and Ronda Rousey right now?
Yeah,
because I think it is. Like, in-ring. Because they're old. They remind me of old school crap talking heels. It's great. And for as much as Ronda's promo needs work, and it does, it needs her promos.
I'm sure we'll talk about when we get to Raw.
Her promos need work. They do. She's still got to get that, and she may never get a wrestling style promo down. She may have to get a mouthpiece at some point. But her in-ring smack talking is amazing. Like the way they had her just basically dress down Bliss in that match was incredible. Yeah. And it's not the first time she's done that in a match, but it was she's really good at it. Carmella, really good at it, and then obviously Kevin Owens is a number one at that. Like, he's just great. But I didn't feel
Braun's pretty good too.
Braun's got great one-liners, man. Braun's promo, again, he's not going to blow you away with his promo if he's asked to do too much. But if you keep Braun short and sweet, his one-liners, like, get these hands, I'm not finished with you, like, and just anything, where he's just talking smack in, like, one or two sentences is really good stuff. It's really good. I didn't watch it, to be out completely honest and transparent. I did not watch the pre-show because, 6 hours is too much. Like, it was just a lot. Like, I don't even know. Like, it
was nothing to write home about.
Right? It was 5 hours. They had 3 matches on the pre-show. And while I appreciate, the guys going out there and working, man, like, it's tough unless it's like once a year for like Wrestle Kingdom or Mania. Like, it's really tough to set through a 4 or 5 hour pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It just is. So, we talked a little bit, Cien Almas, Zelina Vega beating Lana and Rusev. We talked about that, and I picked that because I had heard Vince kind of had a hard-on for Andrade. Poor Rusev.
I know, right? How do you go from a
title match to the opener, right? Like, man, and a loss in the opener on the pre-show. Cedric Alexander defeating Drew Gulak. Again.
Yeah, with a wash.
Yeah. I didn't watch it, but like,
Alexander's amazing. Gulak's really good as well. So
I feel sorry for the 205 guys because like they could be getting so much more use.
Yeah, there's guys in that 205 roster who could be upper mid card to main event in like other promotions who aren't getting like any TV time.
And apparently the Revival have not made their way off of Vince's shit list yet.
Yeah, FDR.
So the B team retaining, that's good for business. Like the The B team is good for the tag team division. It really is. So
I don't know if they're gonna get off the list if they keep like stealing people's signatures and finishers and then bragging about it on Twitter to the effect of, "Hey, we did different moves. You like us now?" I'm like,
hilarious.
guys.
Though I love the Revival because they just give no Fs. That no Fs given. They're gonna do it. And I could see those guys when their contract's up going someplace else.
Yeah,
because
there's a built feud already with like the Bucks.
There's money. That would be
right
money. Money. I don't know what they're.
Too, they could easily have a good feud with.
Oh man, there's a lot of tag teams out there that they could do good things with. So on the main card, Rollins picking up the win over Ziggler. And, this match, people, it was this and kind of match of the night candidates, this and Joe and AJ, right? And this, I felt like this was just a very, average match. No, for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm trying to think when these guys have worked together, like the history of them working together. If I've ever really been like over the moon by any of their matches.
Well, a lot of Ziggler's time in the last couple of years was spent on SmackDown. So remember, he just got sent back over to Raw when they did that shakeup, post Mania. I believe it was post Mania when they did the shakeup. So if they have worked together, it was quite a while ago. And Seth was on top as world champ for quite a while, so I don't know if they've had any extended time working together because Ziggler wasn't in that title picture.
And sometimes they talk about guys who just don't have chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't, and that's okay. Like let's do something else. And then there's certain guys that work amazingly together.
They should put McIntyre up against Rollins. I bet that would be a fantastic match.
I could see that being really good. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, as we got into Raw, we kind of saw the direction they were going with the reunion of the Shield, and it looks like, I know you don't like it. I like it. That's but you got the title move again. You didn't get the Ambrose heel turn, which I'm absolutely fine with.
Mm.
I've said that from the beginning. People are like, "Oh, heel turn, heel turn, heel turn." I'm like, "No, man, bring him back his face. He's, it's fine."
I just didn't want a Shield reunion. That's why I wanted a heel turn. I did not want to see. Well, we already knew going into WrestleMania last year, building towards it. The plan was for him to turn on Roman and Seth and have that be the break of the Shield. Then he got injured, and this whole Shield thing fell apart. And now they're right back into doing a Shield thing, and I'm like, oh, so they just picked up where they left off. I'm like, we're right back to where we were last year with, Roman at the top guy, and he got the two Shield buddies with him, and now they can do a turn.
Roman is a lot more attractive as the top guy with the Shield than without. Let's just be honest. I'm way more interested. And I think fans are going to be way more interested.
I'll give you more thoughts on the Shield thing when we get to it.
So, a surprisingly high-quality match. I didn't expect it to be this good. Was New Day versus the Bludgeons.
Yeah.
That was a great tag team match, man. Those guys really went out there and beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I'm never shocked when the New Day have a good match. And, Rowan and Harper have been great, as far as the tag team goes for a long time. They were really good as part of the Wyatt. So it's something that you should expect. You always kind of forget because they hadn't been booked well for so many years, those two guys.
Well,
but
it's not that. You expect good things out of them.
Yeah.
But this felt like they kind of turned it up and gave us a pay-per-view match, which was nice. It was really good.
A lot of the other guys felt like they gave us a Raw match.
Yeah, the match. See, a lot of these would have been A+ Raw matches, but they're just very B- or C+ pay-per-view matches. It was okay, it was a good match. I'm not going to complain because it was a good match, but there weren't any really special matches on the card. The one that kind of came close was AJ and Joe.
Oh yeah.
Because they're making this a personal feud, which puts butts in seats and always has and always will, and I want to see this. And Joe teasing the Muscle Buster, which I don't believe we have seen on the main roster with he did it on.
Somebody was injured with the move in NXT with it Sami Zayn.
I don't remember who was injured. I know he was
And
using
that's
it.
kind of why they put a
Well,
kibosh
but
on
they
it
let him
for a
use
while.
it. They let him use it on Superstars on his first like main roster match. He used it on a Superstars show, but I don't think since coming to Raw, since he showed up on Raw and attacked Seth Rollins, he hasn't used the Muscle Buster, and he teased it last night, and Graves played into it, and so I'm like, dude, is this a build to him breaking out the Muscle Buster on AJ to win the title?
He also kicked out of a Styles Clash, which a lot of people were shocked about.
Yeah, that was really, really good. And I love that they let Joe take the Styles Clash because he's taken so many of them.
Yeah.
Legit. They work together so much.
Joe
Joe's a big
sleep.
Joe's a big guy, but he knows how to take that move. Obviously that's a tough move to hit on a big guy. That's why he's got the phenomenal forearm now. But they felt comfortable with Joe taking it. Joe took it. Joe kicked out. That match was great, man. Even I loved the ending because it the feud. It continues the feud. It's raw. It's gritty. It's people are like, you never get no Attitude Era anymore. That's the closest to the Attitude Era I've seen in a long time. Like Monday Night War Attitude Era, where there's somebody snaps and hey, oh my God, though the WWE has rules apparently. They are DQing people finally for the first time in a decade.
Nice. Yeah, those TNA chants though.
Well, and that's probably why this match didn't main event.
Yeah. Well, there are a number of times I've watched and been like, man, got a couple of TNA guys in the ring, and I haven't heard chants. So the fact that they finally got to a point where the fans chanted, TNA, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it was bound to happen, but it wasn't bad. They did it for a minute, and then they moved on because the match was good.
Yeah.
And they didn't hijack the match. They kind of stayed with the match.
You don't need to hijack the match when you get people they like, and they
put
on good matches.
That was really good. The punishment of Kevin Owens continues.
Poor KO.
Man, we
should not have signed that extension, man.
We speculated, is Vince happy with KO again, or does he still think KO's too fat? Because that's the rumor. He's pissed that KO doesn't have, KO doesn't look like Bobby Lashley. No, KO doesn't need to look like Bobby Lashley. KO looks like a ass kicker.
Since when did Vince and Cornette get on the same page?
Ooh.
What the hell's going on?
That doesn't happen very often.
Usually it's the opposite.
I don't know. You've got one of the best. Best guys in the company, in my opinion, in KO, and you just you have this he's running around like a chicken, like a chicken heel, and running from Braun, and then you squash him out in less than 2 minutes on one of your big 4 pay-per-views. That sucks. And now you're putting him in a match, and you're setting him up again, the Super Show match. He's in a tag match where he's him and Elias, I think, against Cena and Bobby Lashley. Really? Are you anybody doesn't know what the result of that match is going to be?
Yep.
Okay, no surprises there. Yeah, it's really sad, man. Of course, Braun's over. No offense, Braun, but it just sucks that they're using KO like that. And we want to see Braun. We like Braun, but God, that's a tough one to swallow. We talked about the Charlotte Becky Carmella match being a little sloppy. That was probably the worst match on the main card, and it wasn't awful, but it was it's a little. I think they tried to do a little too much, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it did. There were parts of it that looked a little sloppy. Again, it was tone deafness on the booking. Whoever ran the booking, you didn't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm completely happy that the Queen is champion. Boo-hoo, Becky fans. I don't care. Do not care. All right? And I like heel Becky a lot. I like heel Becky.
The thing is that everybody
wants to see Becky win.
Well, I mean, they're even getting tweets. I seen WWE tweet a few times Becky heel stuff on Monday, and the majority of replies to that was, screw you, I won't boo Becky. No matter what she does, Becky's my favorite wrestler. I'm going to cheer Becky no matter what.
It would have been better. It would have been better to have. It would have been better for them to turn Charlotte heel, and I love Charlotte as a
fantastic heel. So
she's so good.
There was no reason not to.
So yeah, no, I mean, and I like that's the thing, like.
Then if she won, it wouldn't have been a big deal because people could have booed her for winning. In this situation,
oh yeah, and like if she would have, it would have been even better if she would have screwed Becky to win, like outright screwed her to win, and then they had that kind of like she tries to hug it out with her in the moment and like play it off, and then Becky just waylays her, and then you have Becky like you get that pop that you got anyway, but she's the face, and then Charlotte can go boo hoo. About, well, I just did what I needed to because I wanted to win the championship, and you would have done the same thing. And you put it in that. Although, like, I do, like, it's sad because heel Becky looks really amazing. Like, she's, like, got something there. It just sucks that nobody wants to boo her.
She can keep the same attitude and still be a face. I mean, she can.
Yeah, but they're going to try to force it, and that's going to be to her detriment.
Yeah.
Like, I see what they were trying to do, and I see why now. Like, heel Becky looks like money, but it feels like they mishandled it.
I don't understand what WWE has against, like, a Stone Cold type character. I mean, Austin made them a ton of money. Why they are against having a just, butt-kicking face who doesn't give a damn about anything, why that's a problem, why they have to have a babyface, and like they have to have a heel who's a coward and cheats to win, and they can't have just a character who will come out, beat everybody up, and be awesome. I mean, they kind of did it with Strowman, but now that they've gone this route of having him get beat up. So I mean, what do they have against that? Like single guy taking on the world and being triumphant about it. Like, what's the problem?
I don't know.
Stone Cold made them so much money. You would think that they'd want to recreate that as often as possible.
We got to be family friendly, yo. Well, I don't know.
They don't have. I mean, whoever doesn't have to, drink Steve Weiser's and flip the finger, and have people give them, oh hell yeah, you can totally just have them be more aggressive as a face character, but for some reason they just don't seem to want to do that.
I don't know. All I know is that I want to see more Becky and Charlotte in the ring, and we're going to get that because that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, so I know, yeah, boo, cheer who you want, whatever. Like, that's going to be a good match. And Becky probably will get this title. Like, she probably will get the title at some point.
You got to realize the problem with the WWE when their women's champion on SmackDown is a face and is getting booed, and your men's champion on Raw is a face and getting booed. There's a problem, and they need to come to terms with the fact of the problem and address the problem and fix the problem, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon.
The biggest, part of the problem is of their own creation. They gave the audience this feeling like that they matter, like a lot, with Twitter and polls and this and that, and
they did it with that Universal title when they came out and said, we're calling it the Universal title because it's your title. It's the WWE Universe's title. We're going to give you the best champion that you want for your title. I'm like, all right, well, there you did it. Like, but now you're not giving them anybody they want.
But it predates that, Bob. Like, it predates it going all the way, like, back to
where... Yeah, but that was to an extreme.
Well, but...
That was straight out...
They keep doing it, but they made the audience's opinion matter too much. Whereas, like, wrestling, for the history of wrestling pretty much, was tricking the audience to go where you want it. Like, the audience wanted to see certain things, and you took them down this road, but you staged it so that you were developing it so that they were like, well, we want to see this, and you're like, yep, that's exactly where I wanted you to go.
Back to Stone Cold again. They should have learned the lesson that they need to take what the fans want and go with it, because that's how you make money, because that's how Austin got over. I mean, that was supposed to be Triple H winning that King of the Ring, and because he was being punished, they put Austin in that position, but they didn't have plans of putting a rocket on Austin and shooting him to the moon when they did that.
Wow.
It was that Austin 316 that got over, and all the signs and the fans cheering him the next night. that's what got him over. He did it on his own organically, and because of that, that's why he was one of the top guys in the company. Same with The Rock, man.
It was a lot of circumstances all at once. Like it was like, and sometimes that happens when you get a guy that's like that white hot. Look at Daniel Bryan. It was just a. It was a.
Yeah, and they tried to suppress. They tried to suppress Daniel Bryan as well. I mean,
it was a situation of like the circumstances of the moment. So, here's the one where you and we kind of immediately disagreed was the Miz picking up a very dirty victory over Daniel Bryan. And at the time, it was a lot of, hey, we don't know if Bryan's resigned, whatever. But a dirty win doesn't hurt Daniel Bryan, and it continues this feud. And it's I'm perfectly okay with that.
The thing is, we didn't disagree in that regard. We disagreed in the regard that I said that there were 4 matches that had outcomes fans were not happy with, and with four matches ending in bad outcomes, it takes down the quality of the pay-per-view overall.
See, and I don't like. This is one, this is one where it's totally acceptable for the fans to be unhappy with.
Yeah,
because
and 1 of 4 or 2 of 4 is acceptable. You fans can go home with having seen a show and be like, there were 4 matches I was excited about, and 2 of them didn't end the way I wanted to, but 2 of them were amazing, and it can be a positive outcome.
But this was a great match. It was one of the best matches of the night, and it gave you a finish that like. The fans are going to come back and watch this again because they want Daniel Bryan to try.
Once again, I'm not arguing the merit of the match or the finish on its own. I'm arguing it in regards to the pay-per-view as a whole, and that there were like 4, maybe 5 matches on the pay-per-view people really came in caring about, and that's why they sat down to watch the program. And of those 4 to 5 matches, they all had finishes that were not. Didn't leave fans feeling any form of accomplishment or any kind of positive outcome. They all kind of either fell flat on their face or had a negative outcome where the person they didn't want to win did.
And I think that's more of a product of the pay-per-views being as long as they are now. So you're going to have that sometimes, but. This really sets up, especially if Daniel is re-signed, like this, they could take this feud, probably to Mania if they wanted to, because people they're good enough in the ring.
Well, I guess it depends if one of them wins the title off of this, like
that'd be
Australia thing or not.
Yeah, like
or if that's even considered in canon, or if it's not considered in canon.
Look,
like when
they announced that the winner of that match is going to get a title shot, you have to assume. So that's going to be in October. The title shot maybe is the main event at Survivor Series in November. Mm-hmm. Maybe they put it off until January Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
because that would put you're telling me that Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, or Daniel Bryan Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship isn't a main event that would put butts in seats. Like, then you're just delusional, because it is. Like, I'm like, people will watch that. So that'll be interesting to see how this feud plays out.
So do you think this Miz and Maurice versus Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, are they going to put the babies on a pole? That was
no, because Vince Russo isn't there booking.
But the other Vince still is there.
Yeah, but the on a pole match was Russo, like. And it would be on a forklift, Judy Bagwell style.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put babies on a pole. You could put them like crib on a forklift match. That might work.
Friggin' have Beyblade implements hanging from the top of a Hell in a Cell, and they can hit each other with rattles. And
they could do like
Ravens
Clockwork Orange House of Fun match.
WWE have a extreme Hell in a Cell something or other match that has shit hanging.
I'm sure they could figure it out.
Yeah.
So, the Demon Finn Balor coming back at SummerSlam and appropriately squashing the crap out of Baron Corbin.
Wasn't it nice that the Demon managed to show up for freaking SummerSlam to wrestle the Constable Nobody, but can't seem to show up on Monday Night Raw for a title match?
Well, it's
Obviously, Finn has no control over said demon.
Yeah, the demon shows up when and where it wants to. I'm thinking it's a little like
the demon's got a schedule like Brock Lesnar.
I'm the demon has a schedule like Brock Lesnar. I was thinking more like Hulk from Infinity War. Yeah, no control over it at all.
Yep.
So,
He's seen Rollins backstage.
If there were any fears about like Vince maybe not liking Finn because he's a small guy and he had that injury, I think that was a little bit put to rest though over Sunday and Monday night because he got a title shot against Roman. Dude, that match was good.
We'll talk about that some more.
Like it didn't make him look bad or weak or anything.
The pre-match content interview from Roman Reigns about Finn Balor and his title match made me completely disinterested in the title match because I knew for a fact Finn was going to lose, and that means he's completely out of the title picture for an extended period of time.
This is why I'm glad I watched the 90-minute version because I don't get a lot of that, and I just get I get actual in-ring content. It's like watching the Raw we want.
So Roman interviewed and said, "Oh, I'm happy to give Finn an opportunity, and when I beat him, he goes to the back of the line. No more title matches. That's how this is supposed to work." And I'm like, okay, Roman, how many title matches have you had in the last year?
But we know how short the line is in Vince's mind, so that means he'll be out of the title match. He'll be out of the title picture for like
I don't know.
2 months.
I see him out of the title picture for like the
we'll see.
foreseeable future. Like they don't put that kind of line in there, and then because we've seen
they
Roman
do.
get shot after shot after shot, and
they do it all the time. Like they do it all the time, and then they end up rewinding it because they run out of ideas. So I'm not really that worried.
I don't
about
see
it.
them taking the title off Roman anytime
soon.
No,
anyway,
I'm
not saying they're going to take the title off Roman anytime soon.
They have a guy with a briefcase who he's feuding with. So like, if that whole thing's so confusing anyway. We'll get into that. I guess we can get into that more when we get to Raw. I mean,
well, if we have time to get to Raw, it's like this. So let's bang through. Nakamura Hardy was just a solid match. Those guys did what they did.
Jeff needs to progress to a backstage role like Matt. Like he looks in pain every time he does anything. Like even climbing the top rope, he looks like
he does look like his bump card's filling up. Yeah. But if he thinks he's still performing.
I would prefer not to see him like every time he dies out of the ring.
I don't want to see these guys crippled. They're great guys. Yep. Like, but he still feels like he's got some go in him, and that him and Orton, like putting on a show stealer on regular TV.
Do you think they shook hands backstage after?
Ooh.
Apparently, Orton was joking on house shows over the week about like shaking hands with people, going up to people backstage and shaking everybody's hand.
How are they getting away with this?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't get it.
Ronda crushed Alexa Bliss. I was surprised. We both picked Bliss to take and keep the title, and Ronda keep chasing. But
I would
like it was okay.
If they were gonna have her crush Alexa should have cheated to get the win. If they were going to have Ronda Rousey win, Alexa should have got some kind of offense to still look like some kind of like competitor to Ronda Rousey. Because now, whenever you get back to that rematch, anybody who remembers this match happening is going to be like, oh, well, why do we care?
Yeah, she's not getting a rematch for a while. You got to keep them apart for a long time. And then
I almost think you need to, like, try to get Alexa over to SmackDown as soon as possible to get her off the roster so they have no interaction because Ronda dominated her so profusely that there's no...
I don't know, and we don't know what's going on. There might be something going on backstage, and I don't know. We don't know. But Ronda thoroughly dominated that match, won the title, talked a lot of smack, and looked really good doing it. And can we finally put to bed, like, I still see haters talking crap about her gimmick, about the Piper gimmick. Yeah. Oh, she stole. Okay, when Piper's widow is tweeting from his account, wishing her good luck and talking like about how Piper would be very happy about the situation, stuff it. Like, we're at that point. Just get over it, all right?
I just wish her shirt would say something other than Rowdy on it.
We'll get there. WWE changes shirts every 6 months.
They need to get past that, because that shirt's, I mean, this shirt's available on Pro Wrestling Tees, where that money goes to Piper's family, and I'm like, you know, you're taking possible shirt purchases away and money away from a family of the guy who made that popular. So it'd be nice to see her in something different.
It's going to happen. It'll happen. I have no doubt about that. Do the
same design, but have it say Ronda instead of or Rousey.
Well, they'll change it. It'll come, but like it drove me crazy. It drove me crazy when she debuted and people like lost their mind about it. It's like, okay, she's actually wearing his jacket. Like when she debuted, she was wearing his jacket that was brought there by his family because like that was her favorite wrestler as a kid. People like, that's the thing that people like, you know, oh, she's going to be the next Brock. She's only going to be part-time. There's big differences. Brock hates pro wrestling. Like, maybe not hate, but Brock doesn't love pro. He's there for a check.
Yep.
All right. Absolutely. And not that she doesn't want to get paid, but Ronda was a mark.
Yep.
You know, Ronda grew up a wrestling fan. And she loves the business. So, like, for people to, like, make that comparison and, like, just crap on her when they just don't have the information that is readily available. That was all over Twitter and all over the internet about how she got to wear his jacket to the ring for her debut and then, you know, giving it back to his family and then, like, you know, like, get over it at this point. Yep. Like that'll change. Her character will develop. They'll modify the gimmick. You know, but I just keep seeing, like, she's such a blah, blah, blah because she's stealing from. Get over it. She has the blessing of the family. Yep. Get over it, all right? You do not know more than his family. It just drives me crazy. So, Roman, Lesnar.
What a cluster that was.
Oh, man. I mean, well, you know, kudos to Vince for figuring out a way to keep butts in seats.
Yeah, they kept people there, but they also screwed over the entire like everything that happened at SummerSlam was then negated by Raw, and I'm like, you guys are stupid. Like, you can't even keep your storyline straight for one day.
Yeah, they should have had Braun come out way like earlier and stand there for the entire match, because that's what he kind of did. You know, that's what he did at SummerSlam, and I loved that. Comes out and cuts that promo, and he's like, I'm gonna be standing right here. That was great, man.
Since when does somebody throwing your briefcase mean that they can't still have the match later?
You have to physically cash in.
Yeah, but like,
I don't know, Bob.
WWE Network, they can go as long as they want.
I don't know.
They can keep that on TV forever.
No, they can't.
They Bucky
Beaver said no.
They can stay on network forever. So there's no excuse.
He pushed the button. He said, no, wrap it up.
His teeth got stuck on the on the cable, and but no, it's just the whole setup was ridiculous, and moving forward to Raw, it becomes worse because nobody knows what the heck, like the debate out there. Nobody knows what actually happened at the end of Raw. Like, there are multiple theories as to what happened, and we watched it, so we should be able to like come to a conclusion of what happened.
The long and the short is the Shield's back together. It's setting up this Shield Braun feud, which could be good. Like this, because they made Braun. Braun is a monster face, and he's acting like a monster. That was that at SummerSlam. That's the perfect monster face promo. He comes out and he's like, "I don't care. I'm taking it," and you're like, you believe him because you know it's believable.
The question is, who's is there a heel in this situation? Is Braun now the heel?
No, I think this is a case where you just have a bunch of badasses gonna beat the crap out of each other.
From the interwebs, you have numerous wrestling pages saying heel turn for Roman, heel turn for Shield. We're happy about it. They're gonna be heels.
They're not going to be booked as heels.
There's a lot of people over the night on Monday who were just fans who were like, Braun turned heel. Braun's a bad guy. The Shield had to reform and create justice. Braun came out in that SummerSlam and said he wasn't gonna get the title that way, and then he came out on Raw and like hit Roman from behind. He's a heel, and then the Shield had to come out and serve justice because he was gonna try to steal that title like a big heel, and I'm like. There's points to both of these things people are saying.
I don't think either side is wrong, but I don't think the WWE cares as long as the crowd is eating it up. And those guys beat the crap out of each other. I'm okay with that for the next couple of months.
Well, I don't know how you're not just going to see mixed reactions for both of them. And that's something the WWE always hates.
Well,
they hate it when they haven't seen it too.
Have they come to the point where they're just going to like accept? You know, they may just come to the point where they're trying to get the matches cheered like very Ring of Honor NXT style, where like people just appreciate the match.
Well, I mean, they have to have really good matches, and they don't tend to do that with Roman.
That's a lie.
That's
a lie.
He has
you cannot. No. I'm not gonna like.
He has serviceable matches. He is not AJ Styles. He is not Finn Balor. He is not Okada. He is none of these guys who have 5-6 star matches. He has never had one. He is right, serviceable. He is John Cena quality. He is better. Not a top wrestler in the WWE.
Yes, he is.
As far as in-ring talent.
He's not top 3, but he's probably top
10. I could say top 10.
He's creeping into the top 5. You can't have as many good matches as that. I don't care. At some point, you have to say, well, like early on, it was like, okay, he's having good matches, but he's having good matches with like other good opponents.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to say, well, maybe it's not just all his opponents. Like, Roman is not a bad wrestler at this point.
How were his matches with Jinder Mahal? Because Jinder Mahal had some pretty good matches with guys like AJ Styles.
They were really
good matches with guys like AJ Styles.
Roman's matches with Jinder were good.
They were serviceable.
No, they were good. They weren't great. They were good, but nobody gave a damn about them. That's the problem. There's a difference between saying Roman is miscast and misused and Roman's a bad wrestler. Roman's not a bad wrestler. Roman is a bad face. That's the issue. Roman's a natural heel, and they're forcing him face. And the only way he can stay face is if he's next to Ambrose and Rollins.
I will give you this much. Roman could be the best wrestler in the world. He very well could be. He does not show it with what he does in the ring.
Well, he's not
the
best wrestler.
The moves he does. The way his matches are set up to hit said moves, the repetitive spears and Superman punches in the matches over and over again with no build to them in any way, and the randomness of his finishes in his matches are all part of the reason why his matches aren't that good.
See, and that's the, like every time he's on, like he's not giving stinker matches, man. Like
he's not. He's getting to the point where it's progressively moving towards a 5 moves of doom situation. You see the same.
But that's
moves over
how
and
much.
Over again.
How much of that is that? Let's not act.
I'm not saying
act like that's
fault.
not a problem with like guys like AJ. AJ's got like how many freaking times are we going to see the same 7 moves out of AJ? The difference is AJ's allowed to do 9 moves instead of 4 moves. Okay, like that's a WWE.
And his moves are more athletic and have more. I'm sorry, dude, but dude backflips you without looking at you and kicks you in the back of the head from in front of you. That's athletic. Like, dude does a 450 off of a springboard. That's athletic. Roman's not doing anything incredibly athletic. I mean, that Superman punch looks nice when he actually hits it, when he throws it and actually clocks the guy with his elbow.
I don't feel like you could say, like, Roman's not athletic. All those guys. Like, Kevin Owens is even athletic, and we just talked about
Kevin Owens is super athletic.
That's what I'm saying. But
I've watched him hit top rope moves.
There's nobody in the WWE who is not athletic, okay? Let's just...
James Ellsworth?
Not in the WWE. That's my whole point. See, like... It's not
Tamina?
Really, okay, so there's not anybody who's regularly on WWE TV that is an in-ring performer because of course Heyman Michael Cole or okay,
he was an in-ring performer.
Yeah, blah blah.
He beat Jerry Lawler at WrestleMania.
You know what I'm saying though. Like I feel like because we're so sick of like being the Roman shove, like there's just this instinct to dismiss everything he does. Like and it's just not that simple. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing. This is the first time I genuinely don't know. Like, I can't be like, well, maybe we get a Wyatt reunion. I want to see how Braun is going to overcome three guys.
That's the other question. You've shipped out all of your multi-man factions, either breaking them up or removing them from Raw and sending them to SmackDown.
NWO's coming back.
So what are you bringing the Shield back? What
NWO's coming back.
I mean,
allegedly,
is Braun supposed to be teaming with Ziggler and McIntyre now in 6-man matches?
NWO's coming back.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I know. I'm just like,
they're not going to put Hogan anywhere near Roman.
Anyway, that'll be good. I'm super excited, obviously, for Joe and AJ. That's the feud to watch. Yep. I feel like Joe and AJ. I feel like the Miz Daniel Bryan feud is them putting it in the mixed tag match at Hell in a Cell is going to actually retard that feud. No offense to the women, but I just
they're already making it, and I said this before, they were going to make it about the stupid TV shows, and they already have, with Miz cutting a promo about like, well, my show's on the USA Network, yours is only on
and
blah,
that's
blah.
bad booking. These guys are going to give you quality in ring, but that's bad booking, and just let them have that personal animosity, let that play out, and have some great matches. But I'm like, I want to see how Braun's going to overcome three guys on Raw. That's a big thing. I want to see if Ronda's going to continue to be kind of a staple on the show and showing up most weeks. Again, she's not going to be 48 weeks a year because she's going to do movie work. But if she's there 9 months a year, I think almost everybody's going to be happy with that. And then, Joe and AJ, man. Joe and AJ's where the money is for me right now. Heel Becky. I mean, again, I want to see her. I hope her character continues to develop or becomes, butt-kicking badass.
I just hope they put the belt on her.
You'll get it.
I
think that's the build.
Being that they turned, they just put the title onto Charlotte. I don't know how soon they'll take it off her again, which is the worry. Like, cause on one hand, I want to see it all the time. I want to see it on. Well, that's the thing. Like, I want to see it on Becky, but they switched that SmackDown title.
Yeah,
they passed that around like hot potato, and I'd prefer to see somebody hold it and add the prestige to that belt rather than just have it pass around.
Let's not forget we didn't even cover that WWE apparently has made, and I don't even know why we made a full offer for AJ Lee to come back.
Yeah,
like that legit. Like Vince, it's being reported by multiple sources. Vince called her.
She had 70-some% on their poll of what women wrestler they want back. So
that'll be interesting. We
gotta talk Ronda's in-ring appearance on Raw though, real quick with Stephanie.
I could have done without it.
I think
I didn't need a title presentation. I didn't need anytime Stephanie. That's just getting the one good thing that I did like about that is it wound up all the heel women wound up on the outside of the ring with Stephanie, and all the face women were in the ring with Ronda. I like seeing that because you don't see that enough anymore in today's product.
I didn't understand what the point of it was and what were they trying to establish.
She's the champion. Yeah, we saw that last night.
Well, Stephanie says, Ronda's here to break arms and she's going to beat people up. And then Ronda comes out and is like, no, all these women deserve respect. I'm not here to break arms, Stephanie. And then Stephanie says something to her. And then Ronda immediately puts her in her hold to break her arm. And I'm
she said
this writing.
She said she's only here to break arms the people that deserve it. I didn't like it either. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the one redeeming quality.
And then Stephanie did not.
It's cheap heat.
Sell that hold properly. Her arm was not.
It's cheap heat.
And then kind of dangerous.
It's pure and simple. It's cheap heat because Stephanie heel, Stephanie bad, Stephanie evil.
And then if they are going the route of Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, like they've been talked about.
Yeah, I mean, that's happening.
Why didn't Nikki have anything to do in that?
Yeah, they should have.
The Bellas were standing behind them when she had.
Well, at SummerSlam, they should have jumped her. They should have jumped
They
her
should
in
have jumped her
Natalia
on
SummerSlam.
no, they should have jumped her right there on Raw. They
and
were
then-
in the damn ring.
Well, they should have done it at SummerSlam when they were celebrating. I that's what I was expecting. That was probably the most egregious thing of the night.
I could have seen her jumping Ronda on Raw when Ronda went after Stephanie, and then her reason for it being, hey, Stephanie McMahon helped make the Bella brand what it is.
Right.
Blah blah blah.
So we're creeping up on 90 minutes of
Yeah.
WWE talk. Can we talk about my man Tomohiro Ishii, please?
Yeah, we can totally
So
talk
can,
some.
Can we talk some
Japanese wrestling.
Tomohiro Ishii? Because
And
Tomohiro,
New Japan released a bunch of matches for their upcoming Destruction Tour, and then for Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Long Beach. And
my boy Stone Pitbull,
yeah,
getting that title shot.
on
Watch
the
out, Omega.
September 15th.
He's coming for you.
In Hiroshima, which, by the way, the name Destruction Tour and doing it in Hiroshima
Hey,
seems
hey,
like
hey,
a
hey, hey.
terrible idea.
Ooh.
That would not fly if it was a U.S. company.
Well,
Just saying.
they can do what they want. God, man, I'm. Is this does Ishii really have a shot at taking that belt?
I don't think so. I think we're. I mean, unless Omega, gives some indication to New Japan that he is going to WWE, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to be Omega and Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom. I think that's a money match.
Yeah, I mean Meltzer will cream himself over that. Like, let's not lie. Like, that's a 5, 7, 32 star match or whatever. Like, I'm looking forward to it. These guys go to war, and it's always good stuff. Always, always, always. So, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
On the 17th, second day of the tour.
Minoru Suzuki and Tetsuya Naito.
That'll be
Don't mess with Minoru.
yeah, that'll be a hell of a
Yeah.
match, man.
Don't ever cosplay it. Don't ever cosplay Nakamura in front of Minoru Suzuki, because you will get kicked in the face.
Yeah.
I know. I know it was work. I get it. It's
Yeah.
still hilarious. Go watch that video, guys. If you
So
haven't
good.
seen that, Google up. Don't cosplay Nakamura in front of Suzuki,
Yeah.
and you'll see what I mean. It's hilarious. But that's gonna be a great match.
Yep.
Minoru, another guy that gives no craps at all.
It's gonna be a good week because yeah.
Oh man!
on the 23rd.
So this is for the junior heavyweight tournament, because they had to vacate the title because of the Takahashi injury. And I haven't. They've been really quiet on his status and his
Which is
injury
scary,
updates,
'cause-
which is not good. It's worrisome. I don't want to say it's not good, but like, I hope, man, he's super talented. I hope, like,
Yep.
I want him to just be able to like walk and live a normal life at this
Mhm.
point. Like, but if he could ever wrestle again or work again, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But you do have a tournament for
Semi-final match.
Yep.
Kushida.
Kushida versus Bushi
Bushi.
On the 23rd.
Yep.
And then
Also on the 23rd.
Also on the 23rd. That's oh boy.
Yeah.
That's Tanahashi and Okada. That's okay.
With that title shot at Wrestle Kingdom on the line.
Just
apparently.
watch that. You'll be glad you did,
Sure
because
will.
those guys always put on an A match, no matter where they are or what's going on. It's
And
always
with that title shot on the line, it should be a lot of intrigue going in.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think they move it. I
would
don't
hope not.
understand why they would move the title shot after those guys faced off, and it was such an important part of
But what
him
if they
earning it.
But what if they ended another time limit draw?
That'd be great.
You
Like,
know, what
it
if
just
you end
keeps
up
building.
seeing, yeah, like I mean, there's so many different things that could happen there. It'll be interesting.
What do we got? Tag championship.
And this is at the Fighting Spirit Unleashed in Long Beach, California. Tag team titles, man.
Oh boy.
The Bucks in the Firing Squad.
Man, that'll be a good match.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there. They'll give you
I
good.
just-
Somebody's
I-
getting
I
DQ'd.
just hope Starcast has really good security next weekend, man.
Yeah, for
'Cause,
sure.
Yeah,
So-
those guys are all going to be in the building.
The other
Junior heavyweight
says semifinals match. Osprey and Squirrel, the villain. That's gonna be good. Come on, like
all those matches
all
that
right.
you have are great.
So you got a lineup of this crazy good U.S. Championship match. This is the one we knew was coming. Cody gonna take on Juice.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if they move that belt.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's got to start winning some of these title matches. Like he's had a title match for all the things, and he just hasn't won any.
Well, do you think maybe that this is where he wins that belt, and then they write that into the story? Because in the Ring of Honor storyline with him and Nick Aldis, like he had to give up the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And oh man, Aldis wanting him to kiss it, that was great. But Aldis seems to want something on the line that's. And that he said that the ring was a down payment.
Being that this is on the 30th, and being that All In's on the 1st.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they move that belt, and then it's champion versus champion, and then Cody wins?
This is September 30th, and All In September.
Oh,
1st.
I thought I got my dates wrong.
Yep.
See, this is what when you. So no, never mind. I'm backward. I thought this was like in 4 days.
Nope.
All right. Well, write down when you're doing your notes, because you're handling New Japan stuff. Don't make me look like a boob. And write down the month here, please.
Gotcha.
So, because I thought this was in like 7 days.
No, I don't think there's anything major between now and Starcast and All In. I think All In, everybody's on it. So I think that's what they're.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All In's all in. So it's gonna be a fantastic show. Speaking of All In, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. Your kid's going with you. He's been sitting over in the corner. Like we beat him or something. Jordan, you want to come over and say hi?
Only on Saturdays.
So, all right, get in here. There we go. There, look at that. Bob's kiddo. They're going to be going down. They'll be doing all the wonderful All In and Starcast. There he is.
He's getting behind me. There he is.
He's wearing a Kenny shirt.
Sure is.
Ah, Bullet Club marks.
He sure is.
Oh, jeez. So, are you looking forward to going? Talking to the mic. It's okay.
Yes, I am. Looking forward to going.
Yeah. Who's your favorite wrestler?
I don't know.
I don't know. Mysterio.
Oh, Rey Mysterio now.
Rey Mysterio.
Changes daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
So you'll be seeing Bob and Jordan are going to be doing some live shots from Starcast and All In.
Sure will.
Yeah, that'll be fun. If you want to leave, Jordan, you can. We are gonna. We are. He's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. Screw you guys. So he is gone, yo.
Back onto the Xbox.
That's all.
Yeah, we're taking your internet, so you can't.
Yeah,
play
we're monopolizing the internet. So yeah, you'll be seeing Brother Bob and his kid down there. So we're doing the show next Wednesday, right before you leave, right?
Yeah, I'm taking off at like 8 a.m. So
we're
I don't
not
know.
doing the show next Wednesday then. So you're just gonna start posting live, right? So this will be the last official show until you get back from All In.
I mean, we can try to shoot something sometime between if you have the free time to.
Yeah, let me get on that in between my 70-hour work week.
Yeah,
let me get on that. So, we'll see if we can shoot something. And you'll be doing mobile updates.
Yep.
So that'll be good. All In's, should be a great show, and Starcast should be a fun time for sure. So I mean, man, there was a lot of wrestling this week.
Sure was.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of wrestling next weekend.
Oh man, yeah. So you got a big week. So, Bob, closing thoughts? Anything bumping around that we missed? I'm sure we missed a ton of stuff. We always do, but like, there's so much of it, and it breaks. Like, how could anybody keep up with all of it?
Yeah, I mean, there is like a constant flow of news right now. Like every day there's something new, either like contract information or stuff going into this MSG show or new announcements for All In and their Battle Royal. I mean, they added Billy Gunn to that for the
nice
opportunity of their Ring of Honor
There's a
title.
guy who just stopped aging aside from like lines
know,
in his
right?
face. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
guys.
that's what happens when you're an ass man. You just don't age.
you just don't age.
Yeah.
I don't know because like Psycho Sid didn't age either. He looks like the same as he did,
Well,
mean and surly.
If you ask Arn Anderson, he was an ass.
All right, guys. As always, you can get at us through Twitter at Smarkdown Radio for me, at CPBuff22 for Bob. Check us out on Facebook. You can email us your thoughts, smarkdownradio@gmail.com. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe, share, and I don't know, superplex. Let's go superplex the bell so you
Yes.
get all of our notifications when we go live. right?
You're gonna need those next week when we're at Starcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely are. So you're doing us a favor. Again, we're working on some other after Starcast. We're gonna start coming up with a little more content in terms of non-current wrestling content. We'll start diving into promos and finishers and some of our favorites and historical matches and things like that. We're also looking to, as we continue and grow, throw together some interviews. So hopefully we can get that done in the coming months as well. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Brother Bob, as always, anything else before I go ahead and super kick this button and we end the show?
Go ahead and super kick!